Hello, all of you. A very lovely song, and you must have seen it was coming like a chorus. The reason is that hundreds of people together have paid tribute to this singer, and it was a live performance. So, a great energy was there. Now, why I'm starting with this is, as you know, that exams are coming nearby. It is our part of life, it is not our life. Exams are a part of our life. Of course, we are working hard, outperforming, and we are going to do super. Because the reason is, have I done it earlier? Yes. Have I cleared my foundation? All those who are in final, have you cleared your inter? Yes. Your degree or your board exams or 10th or 12th, have you done it earlier than you can do it now? Of course, there also before the exam, that doubt was there. Paper kaisa hoga? Will be I be able to recollect or not? And even fear was there little bit. So let the doubt and fear take back seat. You face it head on and trust yourself, trust the procedure, and work very hard, leaving aside everything, you and your exams. Of course, take quality good break, and it's summer this time for your exam, so take care of your health also. बीमार पड़ने का time ही नहीं है. चलो जल्दी से. I know, apologies that these videos, I mean, say these topics which I'm taking now were to be taken quite earlier, but because of other offline schedules, I could not. Now, those who are following me, it's my duty to be committed and give you all the complete GST Sarthi badge. So, this is very crispy knowledge. I'm telling you, your accounts and records, which I did it in 50 minutes, 2 pages. Today, this is also going to be completed in 50 minutes and 3 pages. These are all 4 marks ke liye they can ask you. Accounts and records where you have to maintain for 72 months from the due date of annual return. Today's topic is TDS and TCS in GST. It's very simple. You don't have the rules and detail, base level knowledge. Same with place of supply. If you dive deep in place of supply, it's like a ocean. But zarat hi nahi hai. So I'm telling you, these are all going to come for 5 marks in the upcoming CA Inter exam. Years I have been teaching. When I was a student, dear students, they had introduced 44 AD, 44A, presumptive taxation. Naya naya tha. Straight question. So you are going to get straight question that TDS, TCS is applicable for whom, what are the limits, what are the rates, who will deduct, who will get the credit, base level question. Okay, nothing we are doing about TDS, TCS of income tax today, but we are doing the TDS, TCS of GST. Okay, just give me 1 minute, dear students. So love you Zindagi, whatever you all are making your story, and I'm so glad to be a part of your story. है ना? 1 second. तो बी कॉन्फिडेंट हेडस्ट्रॉन्ग और जो भी होगा देख लेंगे, नो प्रॉब्लम. थैंक यू गुड मॉर्निंग ऑल ऑफ यू जॉइनिंग नाउ लाइव. आ जाओ. चलो, जूम वाले स्टूडेंट भी कभी यूट्यूब पे जाके कमेंट कर दो, बिकॉज जूम चैट इज नॉट सीन इन द लाइव चैट. 1 second, dear students. Not getting my pen. Now I got it. Thank you. So this topic straight I'm going in my own way. So for this, एक notebook में छोटा सा chart we will make and it will be very clear. Okay, we are doing TDS section 51 and TCS section 52 in the CGST Act of GST. ओके बेटा, देखो इसके पहले ऑलरेडी वी हैव डन सेक्शन 50 which is talking about interest. Section 50 is talking about interest, that whenever you make GST payment late, you have to pay 18% interest. Is this clear to all of you? Right. Now, what is the concept of TDS and TCS in income tax? I am giving you interest, salary, commission. I am generating income for you. You should pay the tax. Government is saying, Dipti ma'am, you are the originator, the deductor, other person is deductee. Okay, listen, I'm giving you 5 lakh salary na. Uspe 5,000 I will, mujhe wapas de do. I will give it to government as TDS, give you a certificate, and net I'll give you by check or transfer your salary 4,95,000. What is your gross salary? 5 lakh. What is my out of pocket expense? 5 lakh. How much is given to you? 495. It's like I'm giving you 5 lakh and again I'm taking 5,000 depositing to government on your behalf, TDS, tax deducted at source, and giving the same to government. Okay, and I'm going to give you a certificate for this. When I'm giving you the certificate for this, okay, this TDS certificate, when I'm giving you, you can, while filing your return, pay this much tax less. Say your tax comes to 50,000. If your tax comes to 50,000, then you say 5,000 already paid by Deepti ma'am. You will pay advance tax, you will have TDS, TCS. Same is the concept in GST. Who is paying GST to government? Ma'am, supplier. And in section 9495, recipient, RCM, reverse charge जो recipient है वही pay करता है. So supplier is liable to pay the tax to government. Now TDS is, GST department is saying, when you are paying TDS, TCS and income tax, हम क्यों पीछे रह जाए? Then supplier, you will get the money from the recipient, that is 10,000 rupees purchase for the recipient for you sale. On this GST you pay to department. Who? The supplier, the seller. This time the buyer, the recipient, is deducting tax and paying to government in GST. That's a beautiful concept. Coming 15 minutes, if you focus, it will be clear. Then 15 minutes learning. 15 minutes the concept of TCS, 15 minutes learning, and bye-bye. Because I know your time, my time, both is important. Actually, I know I have like got little delayed in recording these videos. This should have been done earlier, but so many offline classes, and then we were taking in a flow, we were taking Sarthi also. So ठीक है, अभी 3 दिन की छुट्टी है ना, तब पढ़ लेना, अभी पढ़ लेना. Okay, right. Those who all are live should like, subscribe, और मुझे बोलो कि clear है या नहीं. चलो. So now, who is the first party? Supplier of goods or service. Usually we call him as seller. He is the recipient. Usually we call him as the buyer. Buyer, while making the payment, okay, sale or supply of goods and services. See, this is for mind mapping, it is called, for smart understanding, so that speedily. So many students ask me, ma'am, जब ये flowchart exam में बनाना नहीं है, तो why you are asking us to make? You make it once, you write it once, and it will be synced in your mind. However, best ready flowcharts, colorful charts will not help you unless you write it once, बेटा. तो एक बार लिख लो इसको. Supplier is selling goods or supplying services, and the buyer has to make the payment. So while making payment, the buyer will deduct TDS under section 51. So who is he called? Buyer or the recipient? Deductor. Who is the supplier? Deductee. Clear है language सबको? To the point, very crispy and clear knowledge I'm giving you. Is it clear to all of you? Recipient is saying, okay, I will make payment to you, supplier. Okay, say let us just take it as 10,000. I have to pay. In that, the rate of TDS is 2%. Okay, whenever actually it's not 10,000 क्योंकि 2,50,000 के ऊपर है. Whenever the payment exceeds 2,50,000 for each contract. Ma'am, but in contract, if single payment is made 50,000, 60,000, do we have to deduct the TDS? Answer is yes, if the whole contract payment exceeds 2,50,000. You know who are the recipient? Government. When I say government, ma'am, central government, state government, union territory, sab aa gaya. More will come, I'll tell you in the list. Right now, this is the gist. Recipient is saying, okay, I have got services. Supplier, okay, XYZ Limited, you have supplied to government stationery. Just imagine, okay, under a contract. So government is saying, okay, while paying you, we will deduct the GST part and deposit with government. So let us take the payment is 3 lakh. 3 lakh payment. Okay. So in 3 lakh payment, 1%. 1% कितना होगा 3 lakh का? 3,000 CGST अगर इंट्रा स्टेट है तो, and 3,000 SGST डिडक्ट करके 2,94,000 paid. Who is paying 2,94,000? The recipient. Central government is saying thank you. You have provided us stationery of 3 lakh rupees. In that, we are deducting 1% TDS. 1% is the rate for CGST and 1% SGST. Had it been IGST, then the rate would be 2% IGST. Are you all with me? Shall I go on explaining? When you write it, I'll get time to take a break in between. 7 minutes हुए हैं अभी, और थोड़ा concentrate करो next 7 minutes. मैम बट क्लास शुरू होके तो 11 मिनट हो गए. वी कैन सी इन द यूट्यूब लाइव. यहाँ स्टार्टिंग में आपको गाना सुनाया ना अच्छा वाला. Okay, so now who is the deductor? Supply. And you know why I'm stressing on these questions? Because this is the first attempt, baby attempt of asking TDS, TCS and Inter. Such cute wala MCQs they will ask you, and 110% you have to score marks in MCQ. Are you all with me? Yes, all clear? So in 3 lakh, 1%, 3,000, this we will deduct and pay 294 to the seller. Supplier is saying, oh, I have to. This supplier is saying that this 3,000, when you pay the GST to the supplier. Okay, right. The supplier is saying that, can I use this? Yes. Supplier is having e-cash ledger. You remember e-credit ledger, e-cash ledger, all. Then supplier is having e-cash ledger. Okay. So in e-cash ledger of the supplier will get credit or the benefit of 6,000 GST, which he can use for making payment. See, if we would have not deducted TDS in GST, supplier would have paid the whole tax to government. So the department is smart enough. Oh, you are getting services, no, or goods in GST. Who are you? Central government. आप काट के पैसे दो. You only deposit the GST on behalf of XY Limited, and XY Limited will get e-cash ledger में credit of 6,000, which e-cash ledger we all know we can use for making the payment. Okay, and how to use the e-cash ledger, that we have done in the payment. Like credit ledger you can use to set off the payment, but not RCM. Something like नींद में से उठाए तो आना चाहिए. Ma'am, I am having input tax credit of 10 rupees. I have to pay RCM tax 6 rupees. Can you pay out of this? No. RCM payment has to be made in cash. It cannot be done out of ITC. Ma'am, you are diverting from the topic. No, beta. ITC का question number 1 ही compulsory आता है, and this is the silly mistake done by students. So I'm saying whenever it is RCM tax, you have to pay it in cash. Anything not clear, ask me. And if it is clear, then check. Can they ask you in the MCQ simple limit that above what limit the TDS is to be deducted and paid? 2,50,000. Now time limit. Okay. Okay. 6,000 who deducted? Recipient. Recipient, I am again saying your goods or services what you have received is 3 lakh. But you paid only 294. Can you keep 6,000 in your pocket and enjoy it? Answer is no. 6,000 you have to deposit. You all remember in income tax TDS is to be deposited by 7th of next month. I'm saying, listen, John, I paid you salary 5 lakh. 5,000 TDS hai, 495 gad le jao. That 5,000 if I keep it in my pocket, it's cheating. It's government's money. So now this time limit that this 6,000 should be deposited by the recipient in the government account 10th of next month, 7th of next month in income tax. Ma'am, why you are asking us gadi gadi income tax? Because you have to write 100 marks paper together. So जितना confuse होना है अभी हो जाओ, फिर बार बार confusion होके automatically you'll get it clear. ठीक है बेटा? So by 10th of the next month, you have to deposit the tax, and then TDS certificate is given. GSTR 7A. Who will give the TDS certificate? The deductor, that is the recipient. Okay. Time limit for deposit to theek hai. When to deduct? When to deduct is like income tax. Payment or credit, whichever is earlier. This is not given in your material, in the study material, but this is a practical part. That whenever you receive the goods, you make payment or you record purchases to party, purchases to XY Limited. So payment or receipt, whichever, credit, whichever is earlier, that way. Credit means due and payment means receipt basis or mercantile basis. Whatever you record first, you have to deduct the TDS and pay it to government. That's all. It's over. Just 2 minutes I'm giving you. I want all of you to write this. अरे bill to ship model कहाँ गया? ये नहीं, यहाँ से लिखो. As you're writing exam, I'm going to learn how to use 2-3 colors while writing. I get so much engrossed in telling the concept that I miss out using different colors. Hope you all are also taking very good care of your health because it's very hot outside. ये लिख लो बेटा. कुछ doubt है तो पूछो. I know you all are preparing super well for your advanced accounting. Okay, no problem. If you don't want to attend the live class now as you're preparing for accounts, then 3 days of holidays, that time you can watch this as recording. I also have some schedule that time, so I'm recording and keeping. आपको जब पर देख लेना एक बार पक्का. Material for this I've already circulated in the Telegram and challenges. Ask if you have, don't take screenshot बेटा, एक बार तो लिखो ना. 2,50,000 लिखते से दिमाग में फिट हो जाएगा. Shall I repeat once and then shall we read from the book to make it more clear? Okay, I'll scroll down so that you can write the lower part. लिख लो. Yeah, if you deposit the TDS late, there's 18% interest, no? Who are the people who are covered under TDS? We have not told you. I've just written government. There are more people who will deduct the TDS. See, it's very easy to understand बेटा, but एक बार लिखते भी आना चाहिए ना. All clear? Yeah, write down time limit. See, if I am the recipient, I am the central government, I am receiving services from XYZ, I cannot say, okay, I have deducted TDS, yellow 2,94,000, 6,000 will give you certificate GST as 7A, claim it while paying your this. आपके ई कैश लेजर में आ जाएगा. अच्छा, they can ask you in exam, dear students, in whose e cash ledger you will get this. Yeah, supplier. Please mark this very, very important, because this is supplier's money. So this will come as credit in supplier. We will to deduct TDS and pay by 10th of next month. And certificate also we have to give within 5 days of the payment. Clear to all of you? Yeah, that's all. Let us now read from our material and it will be super clear. Yeah, this topic is added only for CA Inter students. Deduction of the tax at source. Under the GST regime, section 51 of the CGST prescribes the authority and the procedure. 1 second, dear students. Section 51 of the CGST Act prescribes the authority and the procedure for TDS. TDS provisions empower the central government to make it mandatory for following person to deduct the tax for payment made to supplier. ये supplier ये recipient है. तो who will be the recipient? They are also called as deductor. Recipient and deductor are same. Central government, state government, other establishment, local authority, government agencies, and notified category of the person. They are all covered in section 51, subsection 1, clause A, B, C, D. Central government, state government, local authority, government agencies, notified person category of the person. Yeah. Following persons have been notified under section 51 1D by the central government. So who are those people? An authority or board or any other body set up by the Act of Parliament or established by government in which 51% or more participation by way of equity or control to carry out any function is with the government. Okay? So any authority, board or any body corporate in which more than 51% shares belongs to government. Society established by central government, state government, local authority. Central government, state government, local authority directly or establishing society under the Societies Registration Act or the PSUs. So it's okay if you don't remember word to word. I'm making you learn. I am the recipient of the service. I have to deduct the tax. I am the deductor in the GST. Who am I? Central government, state government, local authority, government agencies, and notified category. In notified category, again, a company in which more than 51% shares are with government, or a society which is established by central government, state government, local authority under Societies Registration Act, or public sector undertaking. Okay. Who are not liable to deduct the tax. I'm telling you, you will message me after exam ki ma'am, such easy and straight questions are asked, but answering it is of course tricky. पता है जितना मेहनत yesterday's 1 hour accounts and today's 1 hour TDS TCS, this is going to have weightage of 6 marks minimum. So much we study for 6 marks in capital gain. मैम आप हमेशा ऐसे क्यों बोलते हैं? कैपिटल गेन इज ऑफ कोर्स इंटरेस्टिंग, but how much efforts we are giving in capital gain to remember the advance money forfeited, the CIIs, the exemptions, all followed or not. Of course, it's a base level chapter and weightage is 8 marks, but this is worth doing. है ना? Chalo. Now, when goods or services are supplied from a PSU to another PSU, this they can ask you in MCQ also. One PSU is the recipient and the supplier is the company or a partnership firm, no problem. One PSU supplying goods or services to another PSU, GST nahi lagega because both are government. When supply of goods or services takes place between one person to another person specified in A, B, C, D, same. Central government is supplying the goods to central government only. State government is doing to central government. State government is supplying to local. Aapas mein these people are giving services to each other. Government can't deduct tax from its own pocket and give again back to government. Beautiful logic it is. And very easy. Keep seeing your watches. 26 minutes are over. 4 minutes छोड़ दो. बढ़िया गाना सुने हमने. Right, and again, stay motivated. This beautiful journey you are on at is going to be a superb part of your life. कभी TEDx सुना है किसी को? They talk later on that the most thing which जिसने उनका पूरा निखार बाहर लेके आया ना, what do you call it in core English? Whenever I say some motivation, I go to Hindi. So, something which brought out the best in the students were those tough moments. Yes. So, if you're going through any of these challenges, just stay grounded. You will do awesomely well. Pakka. Chalo. So, we are doing section 51 and 52. Only that much knowledge which will help us to go get 4 marks. Right now, I'm not in a mood to tell you practically ऐसा होता है, ये होता है, अभी नहीं करना है. Exam के बाद, are you willing to learn practical GST? We will be taking classes live here only. I'll not teach. I'll ask my colleagues to do that. Chalo. So section 51 says supplier and the recipient. Recipient will deduct the TDS. Yeah. Recipient will deduct and pay to supplier if the payment under a contract exceeds 2,50,000. And the rate of CGST and SGST is 1%. And if it is IGST, it is 2%. Okay? Right. So, ये सब clear है आपको? Following persons have been notified. But if they do mutually, one central government, one PSU to another, then TDS is not to be deducted. The deductees are the suppliers whose total value of the taxable goods or services exceeds 2,50,000 exclusive of the tax. The value of supply is 220 plus GST 30,000, 250. तब TDS नहीं लगेगा. Excluding your taxes and cess, goods compensation cess को छोड़ के, if the value exceeds 2,50,000. Ma'am, like this have we done in e-way bill also? Yes. E-way bill is mandatory when your each billing done, each invoice value exceeds 50,000, excluding taxes and cess. Clear to all of you? Right. So what is the rate? 2%. On net value of the taxable supplies. When we say net value, it will minus the returns. Okay. One second, beta. Chalo, next. Individual supplies may be less than 2,50,000, but if the total value of the supplies under a contract is more than 250, of course, I am central government, I am buying stationery from you under a contract 3 lakh rupees. XYZ Limited में आपसे स्टेशनरी ले रही हूँ 3 लाख की, तो TDS लगेगा. But I may say, okay, supply me right now 1,50,000, later 50,000, and later 1 lakh. So it could be in 2-3 lots. Clear to all of you? Right. बहुत easy है. Please don't leave. And if you really feel I have given you to the point knowledge, and I'm getting so many comments from all of you for this quality of the material. I myself, I take hours to prepare this material because I keep adding. Okay, I'm telling you, ये एक word लिखने से फर्क पड़ गया. Who is the deductee? The supplier. Who are the deductor? The recipient. So definitely, if it is helpful, comment below, share it with your friends. Thank you in advance. Chalo. Manner of accounting. Such deductor needs to get compulsory registered under 24. You remember voluntary registration and compulsory registration if a person is covered under section 51 TDS, 52 TCS, he should compulsory be registered under the CGST and SG, I mean say the GST Act. They need to remit such TDS collected by 10th of the next month. Amount deposited at TDS will be reflected in the electronic cash ledger. TDS certificate is to be issued in form GSTR 7A within 5 days of the credit of the payment to government account. Are you all with me? TDS certificate is to be issued in the form GSTR 7A within 5 days of the credit of the payment. पहले तो आप payment ही कर दो before 10th of next month. Once you pay within 5 days, issue the TDS certificate. TDS to be deducted at the time of payment or credit, whichever is earlier. If TDS is not remitted on time, interest is to be charged under section 50 from the date you are liable to deduct TDS till the date you have actually deposited and 18% per annum. Okay. What are the contents of the TDS certificate? TDS number, name of the deductor, GSTN of the deductor, GSTN of the deductee, name of deductee, tax period in which tax deducted, and this is an accounted for. In the GSTR, details of supply, kitna amount hai, kitna payment hai, kitna TDS deduct hua hai, all you will write. ठीक है, चलो. Amount that is shown as TDS will be reflected in the electronic credit ledger of the supplier. 110% of getting this question in MCQ. Okay, whatever TDS we have deducted, that will be reflected where? In supplier's e-cash ledger. He can utilize this amount towards discharging his liability towards tax, interest, fees, any other amount. Yeah. So who can use this? ये किसका पैसा है? Supplier का. Supplier should have got 3 lakh. We said, okay, supplier, you have supplied goods, no? You should pay GST to government. Supplier, you should pay GST to government. Okay, we will pay on your behalf. We will give certificate. This GST you can use. Now when supplier is saying to government, okay, I have to pay 10,000 output tax. In that 6,000 already paid by Dipti ma'am on your behalf. Followed. So beautiful it is. Now, applicability of TDS in various situations. Now, this alone I can teach you in half an hour. Not required, just I have given in these 3 lines. बस ये पढ़ लो clear है. Okay? TDS provisions, where is it applicable? Supplier, place of supply. You know place of supply? We have already done. Huh? Place of supply is where the transaction ends. So if it ends in the same state, intrastate. If it ends in the other state, interstate. है ना? So the supplier, the place of the supply, and the recipient are all in the same state. So it is intrastate. TDS to be deducted. Is this clear to all of you? Supplier, place of supply, recipient, all are in same state. So it is interstate supply, Hyderabad to Hyderabad. Then TDS is to be deducted. Supplier and place of supply in different states. Ma'am, supplier and recipient, no. For TDS, important is supplier and place of supply. Supplier and place of supply. Supplier is in Hyderabad. Recipient is in Hyderabad, but recipient is buying it for one of his branch in Nasik. So where is the place of supply? Nasik. Where is the movement of goods ending? Nasik. Then it is going to be interstate supply, TDS to be deducted. I know it will take time to absorb this. I need not repeat all this because I made you write. But this I'm going to repeat many times. Don't worry, I'll make you learn. and stay connected in the 3 days holidays. I'm going to do a superb revision for all this. Supplier and place of supply in the same state, and recipient located in another state. Supplier is in Hyderabad, recipient is in Nasik, but in Nasik he wants the good to be supplied in Hyderabad itself. Yeah, तो फिर if we charge CGST and SGST, it's wrong, because supplier is in Hyderabad, recipient is in Maharashtra. Okay, so if we charge IGST, this will go to the Maharashtra state, whereas actually the place of supply is the place where you levy the tax. वो तो CGST or SGST है, and recipient is intra-state IGST. So there's a lot of confusion. They said, okay, in this case, no TDS. कोई जरूरत ही नहीं है. See, I know it will take time, beta. Are you all with me? So many of you are live now. Can you comment below if it is all clear to all of you until now? Of course, this part I'll repeat. और logic है उसके पीछे. Either it has to be CGST, SGST, or it has to be IGST. The third one is very confusing. So government said, oh, TDS and GST we have added for our convenience, so that we get tax amount fast. Rather than government paying to XYZ stationery wala and stationery wala paying GST, government has shifted the responsibility to central government only. Government you only deduct. समझ में आ रहा है? So TDS are luxurious section for our convenience. Yeah. Let us take supplier A state, place of the supply where the transaction ends, A state, recipient also A state. Deduct the TDS and write here it is intrastate supply. Intrastate supply. Nice. Now, supplier A state, place of supply भी A है, recipient B है. When supplier, and you can, if you don't understand anything, then just learn this line. Supplier and place of supply in one state, recipient in another state, no TDS, not applicable. Because the recipient is saying, I will charge IGST, but actually this is the place of supply is in same state, CGST, SGST. So there's confusion. Don't apply TDS. Okay. Supplier A state, place of supply B, recipient also B. Ma'am, this is clear cut interstate. Interstate supply. वो इंट्रा था, ये इंटर है, ये इंट्रा था. Clear to all of you? Now, same with the union territory 1. This is also union territory 1. Same union territory, place of supply. Same recipient. Intra-state supply. बिल्कुल लगेगा. Union territory 1 में the supplier. Place of supply is interstate. I'm saying union territory 2. Recipient also union territory 2. So this is interstate. Problem is where supplier and place of supply are together and the recipient in another state. Don't apply TDS. Clear? Right. Now, if TDS is not deducted, interest is to be paid along with the amount of TDS, as amount shall be determined and recovered as per the law. If TDS deducted but not paid to government, I am enjoying in my pocket. Interest to be paid, same. Late filing of the TDS return. जैसे GSTR का return, you remember GSTR 7 they have added in your returns topic, annual return, first return and all returns में एक return add हुआ है GSTR 7, that is TDS return. So if you file that return late fees of 100 for every day during such failure, subject to maximum 5,000. This I'm much not talking. If you want, you can write refer return. Return chapter mein I've given you one table. Okay, there you can check it. Just to make it very, very easy for all of you. That's all for TDS. Now I'm going to TCS. TCS इससे भी simple है. Of course, I'll give a comparative chart also so that you all remember everything. But TCS is still easy. Yeah. Check any doubt if you have asked me. The flowcharts in the study material are also very nice. Back questions are, anyhow, to be honest, very simple. चलो, finished. No doubts. I gave you time to read this one full page. देख लो, क्योंकि confuse नहीं होना है. TDS आपका section 51 है. Now we are doing 52. Okay. Chalo, let us start with the TCS now. Section 52. Who should collect the TCS in GST? Every e-commerce operator, electronic commerce operator. You all know e-commerce operator is not a website. It's like the middleman who channelizes the supplier and the customers. Like Amazon, Flipkart, all these are e-commerce platform. You can sell your goods over there. Just 2 seconds, wait. Thank you for waiting. चलो शुरू करते हैं. Yeah, I'll give you a comparative also of the both. पहले हमने 51 कर लिया. 50 we all know interest is charged at 18% number of days के हिसाब से. Now, e-commerce operator is a portal, an online space like Amazon, Flipkart. Amazon is not the supplier. Amazon is a middleman. He connects the suppliers and the recipient. He takes his commissions and expense, and net balance he will remit. Okay. So e-commerce operator, not being an agent, has been mandated to collect tax at source on the net value of the taxable supplies. When they say net value is whatever goods they have sold through their website. But nowadays Amazon, Flipkart, AGO, ये सब आप देखते हैं ना, lot of things comes as returns also. So sales return minus करने के बाद made through it by the supplier. When e-commerce collects the consideration on behalf of the supplier for such supplies, yeah, they will also collect the TCS. What is the rate of TCS? TDS से आधा है. 0.5% CGST and SGST or 1% interstate. ठीक है. Suppose a certain product is sold at 1120 including 12% through an operator, by a supplier. Operator means e-commerce operator. Then operator would collect 1% of the net value, not the tax part. See, in this 1,000, 12% is the GST. So on 1,000, he would collect the TCS and remit to government, that is rupees 10 in case of interstate supplies. 1% है ना interstate. समझ में आया? So 1,000 rupees ke goods if I'm selling, GST is say 12%, 120, 1120. So TCS will be collected at the rate of 1% on 1,000, not on the GST part. The tax will be collected and remitted. Now, aggregate value of the taxable supply of goods or services minus the taxable supplies returned to supplier. That's the net. Through all. Ma'am, there 2,50,000 limit was there. What's the limit here? No limit. I'll make you write a very nice comparative in the notebook. Let us read and finish this practical aspect. Aggregate value of the taxable supplies of goods and services minus this. Currently, services which are notified under section 9(5) are given below. This is the latest amendment in your third chapter, levy of supply. Many of the materials will not be having whatever Sarthi batch I have taken recently in the whole April month. In that every chapter I have incorporated GST amendments. But still, if anyone in the class, I mean, say so many of you are requesting, that I'll surely make a brief 1 hour video on all the amendments of the GST put together. Though individually we have done. Okay. Aggregate value of the taxable supply of goods and minus this. Currently, services notified under section 9(5) are given below. Okay, right. Other than notified services, तो इसमें TCS नहीं आएगा section 9(5) में. Okay, though these are given below. Services by way of transport of passengers by radio taxi, motor cab, maxi cab and all. That is your Ola, Uber. Services by accommodation in hotels, clubs and all. Oyo hotels. Services by way of housekeeping, plumbing, all. So this is like your urban clap. जो आपको सब प्लम्बर की सर्विस, AC क्लीन करना है, सब मिलेगा. Supply of restaurant service other than services supplied by restaurant eating joint located at specified premises. Matlab, what is covered in 9(5)? All the restaurants other than restaurants which are attached to lodging boarding and where the room fare exceeds 7,500 per month. Then on RCM will not apply. In all the above 4 cases, whole GST is paid by e-commerce operator on RCM basis and hence no question of TCS. ये कितना अच्छा logic. ये मैंने add किया है यहाँ, लाइन नहीं तो कुछ नहीं समझेगा. Take your time. Ask me, is it clear or not? Ma'am, you said if we are selling goods or services through e-commerce operator, TCS is applicable. Then are these all e-commerce operator? Yes. I told you transport of passenger के सामने Ola, hotels and all Oyo hotel, all that, housekeeping and all urban clap, example, restaurants, Swiggy, Zomato, all this. Yeah. So are these all online services through e-commerce operator? Yes. Then why TCS is not applicable? Because on reverse charge mechanism, they have to pay the full tax. See, I think 2 minutes. Just give me 2 minutes. I'll draw a diagram and explain you. Time है ना, हम बिल्कुल time limit में पढ़ रहे हैं because both of us time is important. So I'm writing here section 52. He is a middleman, e-commerce operator. Flipkart, Amazon, they sell to customer and goods are supplied. Supplier. Ma'am, supplier will directly send to customer. Yeah. But all the procedure and booking and everything is done through Amazon, Flipkart, right? तो ई कॉमर्स ऑपरेटर क्या करता है, दे विल रिसीव द पेमेंट. 2 minutes, allow me to make the diagram and things will be very clear. Customer say they will receive the payment. Now from the payment they will minus their commission, they will minus their expense. Who? Amazon, Flipkart, all that. And net payment they will give it to the supplier जिसके through goods are. So please remember those vendors who are selling through Amazon and all, अरे supplier can't shout and say अरे आज तो आपके through goods बेचे, पैसे लाओ, मेरे पैसे दो. There are some days, minimum 5 days, 10 days will be required for settlement. You all are studying from Concept Classes app also. First, I decided to take the app directly through the Google Play Store. So, Google Play Store settles it in more than 40-45 days. So, whatever courses I have sold this month, I'll be getting my payment by 15th of the next month. Ded mahine ka they do. So, are you getting what is the position of the e-commerce operator? Flipkart, Amazon, all. They will deduct their commission, their incidental expenses, and net payment, they'll hand it over to the supplier. Okay? Right. Now, if some of you are feeling, ma'am, same flowchart you have made in section 194O, online business, जहाँ पे TDS भी कट होता है. That is TDS on the income which he is generating. This is TCS under GST part. Clear to you, right? So now, the e-commerce operator will collect how much tax? TCS का rate कितना है? TCS rate is 0.5% and 0.5%, और अगर interstate है तो 1%. Clear to all of you, right? This is the rate of the TCS, and TCS is only on the value of the sales. Sales value is 1000. GST is charged at the rate of 12%. 120, 1120. One second, the screen don't. Yeah, 1120. Then TCS will be collected, say at the rate of 1% on 1000. That is rupees 10. Followed from the customer, they will collect the GST ना, तो उसमें से TCS collect करके they will pay. Same time limit is they have to pay by 10th of next month. No 2,50,000 limit here. 10th of the next month. So is the procedure clear to you? E-commerce operator की position कहाँ है? Now I was teaching you an exception which I feel is very important theory question for 4 marks. E-commerce operator should collect the TCS at the given rate as per section 52. Then e-commerce operator, urban clap or whatever we call it, to them, why is it not applicable? Because under section 9(4), so many cases, the e-commerce operator should pay the tax. Under RCM. Full tax. If they pass it on to the supplier, then actually ये sales किसका है? ये 1000 और 120 sales किसका है? Supplier का, right? So supplier is liable to pay 120 to government. Then here e-commerce operator is only collecting 10 rupees extra and paying to government. You all are following or not? TCS. So in e-commerce operator, which are covered under 9(4), Urban Clap, Flipkart, I gave you the 4 cases. Yeah, there whole taxes paid to government by e-commerce operator. So no point of TCS. Clear? Right. चलो देखते हैं इसको जल्दी से. सी, this is clear that TCS is on the value. Aggregate value of the supplies of goods and services minus the return, that is clear. Currently, services notified under 9.5, they are not covered in the TCS. Who are they? Radio cabs, accommodation in hotels, guest house, clubs and all. Services by way of housekeeping, clubbing, plumbing, carpenting, urban club or restaurant. Other than restaurant, where the per day rent exceeds 7,500. So in above 4 cases, GST is payable by the e-commerce operator on RCM basis. Full. Whole likha hai maine. You can write full GST. So no question of deducting the, collecting the TCS. Now, the deposit of TCS by e-commerce operator to government. The TCS collected by e-commerce operator has to be remitted to government within 10 days. If TCS has been collected by July, by 10th of August. Any person who is required to deduct tax shall electronic submit a registration. PO may also verify and grant registration within 3 working days. So even if you are not doing anything but just you are having an e-commerce portal, you are liable for GST registration under section 24, compulsory registration. Also, on request or upon inquiry or pursuant to other proceedings, if the proper officer is satisfied that person is no longer liable to deduct TDS, then the said officer may cancel the registration. Okay, right. So you have to take the registration. This is a procedural part. Okay. Filing of monthly and annual return. An electronic statement in form GSTR 8, that was 7, has to be filed by e-commerce operator containing details of outward supplies of goods or services through its portal, including supplies returned through it, an amount collected by it as TCS within 10 days after the end of the month. Okay. So within 10 days, you have to collect the TCS, pay to government, and also issue a statement. Additionally, e-commerce operator is also mandated to file annual return. GSTR 9, 9A, 9B होता है ना. GSTR 9 is annual return for all. GSTR 9A is annual return for the composition dealer who makes quarterly payment and files only one return. Additionally, e-commerce operator is also mandated to file annual return, GSTR 9B, on or before 31st December after the financial year. The commissioner has been extended to grant extra time. Any corrections in the TCS return can be done by 30th of November or actual date of filing annual return, whichever is earlier. ये मैंने TCS के लिखा है सब correction के लिए. If you want to correct your earlier returns, there's no question of revised return in the GST. So in the next return, you can rectify any time before 30th of November 2024 or due date of filing the annual return, whichever is earlier. An officer below the rank, not below the rank of deputy commissioner, can issue notice to operator asking him to furnish details relating to volume of goods, stock of goods lying in warehouse. Operator is required to furnish such details within 15 days. In case an operator fails to furnish the information, he is liable. This is all procedural parts. ठीक है. TCS applicability in major e-commerce. Selling own product through website? No, TCS is not applicable. Selling brought out product through own website, own billing. मैं कहीं से product लाती हूँ अपनी website पे sell करती हूँ? No. Mere facilitating transaction between the customer and the supplier. Supplier is here, customer is here. It's just channelizing. Then TCS is applicable. Operator do not own goods ऑपरेटर मतलब ई कॉमर्स ऑपरेटर इज नॉट द ओनर ऑफ द गुड्स. सप्लायर अलग है, रिसिपेंट अलग है, इज जस्ट अ मिडलमैन. Billing done directly by the seller to customer. I told you, even if I buy the goods from Amazon, if I buy a book from a publication in Haryana, the book will come directly from Haryana to Hyderabad. Consideration collected by operator and then paid to supplier. TCS provisions are applicable. Operator shall deduct TCS while making payment to the supplier. ठीक है, TCS काट के गवर्नमेंट को जमा कर देंगे as they deduct the commission. I know it's tax collected at source, but then it's deducted and not consideration then paid to supplier. TCS provisions, operator shall deduct the TCS while making payment to the supplier. Okay, questions which are going to be asked as simple as this: is every e-commerce operator required to collect the tax on behalf of the actual supplier? Yes, every e-commerce operator is required to collect the tax where consideration with respect to supply is being collected by e-commerce operator. However, no TCS is required to be collected on supplies of services notified under 9(5). Because in 9(5), e-commerce operator has to pay the full tax. So why he would deduct the TCS and pay and then pass on? Okay. On exempted supplies, you are an e-commerce operator, but you are selling on your portal exempted supplies. So no TDS TCS provisions applicable. On supplies on which recipient is required to pay tax on RCM basis, तो उसपे नहीं लगेगा. Okay, right. थोड़ा सा अगर कहीं लग रहा है कि if it is a procedural part, just give me 2 minutes. अभी रिवाइज कर लेंगे. State whether the provisions pertaining to TCS will be applicable if Iftan Limited sells watches on its own through website. No. If you sell the clothing, your own boutique clothing through your own website, no. TCS not applicable. Okay, in my website, I allow 5-6 brands to sell, but I buy it and sell it. I am not the middleman. I am the buyer. तो मैं channel में ही आ गई ना. So this is a routine transaction. I am not e-commerce operator. I am buying in my name and selling. I am not e-commerce. Yeah, I am connecting the seller and the customer through my portal. Then yes. So here the answer is no. As per section 52, every e-commerce operator not being agent shall collect an amount calculated at such rate as may be notified by government of the net value of the taxable supplies through it by other supplies where consideration with respect to such supplies is to be collected. Hence, if the person sells on his own provisions pertaining to TCS, won't. If you sell it through your website, not applicable. If you outrightly buy 3-4 brands and then you sell it, not applicable. Amazon is never buying, and I'm just taking Amazon, but all these Flipkart and all, they're just connecting the supplier and the recipient. Okay, so just go to the diagram once, and if required, I'll revise. 5 minutes more to close. Yeah, how will he make payment? He will deduct his commission and expenses. Say 1000 का sale हुआ है, GST 120 is collected from customer, but TCS to be collected is 1%, that is 10 rupees. So while remitting, he will deduct. अब जैसे 1000 में say 50 rupees is the commission, 50 rupees is the expense, 10 rupees is the TCS. This he will deduct and remit the amount. Yeah, and this, the e-commerce operator will pay this 10 rupees to government by 10th of next month, give the certificate also, and return he has to file. Who has to file? Yeah, lot of emphasis again and again I'm giving for sales return, because I hope all of you know, whenever you buy through e-commerce operator, अरे ये size छोटा आ गया, बड़ा आ गया. I remember like it is, ठीक है चलो वो सब यहाँ discuss नहीं करना है. So whatever you are making sales minus sales return for this supplier on the net TCS is applicable at the rate of 1%. Clear? Chalo. Now let us do a nice comparison between the two. First I taught you TDS. Then I am teaching you TCS in GST. TDS का सेक्शन कौन सा है आपका 51, इसका सेक्शन कौन सा है 52. यहाँ पे लिमिट कितना है TDS में 2,50,000 के अबव द कॉन्ट्रैक्ट वैल्यू ब्रैकेट में इंडिविजुअल पेमेंट can be less than 2,50,000. Or if the contract value exceeds 2,50,000, TDS is applicable. TCS, no limit. If you are an e-commerce operator, तो आपको लगाना ही पड़ेगा. ये हो गया सेक्शन, ये हो गया लिमिट. अब आएगा रेट. TDS का रेट कितना है? TDS का रेट in IGST 2%, here 1%. CGST and SGST rate 1% and 1%. Here 0.5% and 0.5%. TCS rate is 1%. TDS rate is 2%. Okay? Right. Who is deducting the TDS? डिडक्टर कौन है? सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट, लोकल अथॉरिटी and society registered by these people, so on. Who is the deductor for the TCS? E-commerce operator. खास करके लिखा है other than notified in 9(5). Ma'am, 9(5) are also e-commerce operator, no? Urban Clap and Ola and Oyo Hotels and all. Then why is it not applicable there? Because full tax is paid by e-commerce operator on RCM basis under section 9(5). E-commerce operator should only pay the tax to government. The suppliers are chota mota people. He is a small plumber. And the recipient, जो plumber की service बुलाते हैं urban clap से, they are unregistered. So who has to pay the whole GST? E-commerce operator. So no question of collecting 2% and passing on that benefit and blah blah all. Is this helpful? Writing a note like this? 2 minute time lo likho. I'll revise and that's all. I told you 1 hour exclusively this topic is over and pages आप ही देख लो कितने pages का material दिया आपको. Accounts and records was 2 pages and 1, 2 and 2.34 मतलब 3 page का material. And definitely they are going to ask straight question because it is having this amendment of e-commerce operator. You want to write that e-commerce operator amendment or you are remembering from the material? देखो देख के बोलो. Yeah. This is all live class. I'm not pausing, recording and uploading. तो भी कोई doubt है तो बोलो, and when the live class is over, please comment below. That really motivates so many others also to watch this conceptual now. I know if you have started with your accounts preparation, absolutely okay. No, beta, TCS is not applicable for the CMA students, I told you. Last 3 topics are only added in the CA Inter. Place of supply, accounts and records, TDS and TCS. It's okay. I'm just going to take live class for all the GST amendments which I've already discussed in each Sarthi video. GST Sarthi video, but आपको अगर पूरा एक साथ चाहिए amendment, so I'll be doing it today evening and absolutely no problem with that. If you have already planned and 3 days before you have started your accounts preparation, no problem. Save the link and when you get 3 days holidays, that time revise it. Chalo. TDS section 51. मैम इसके साथ कौन सा सेक्शन याद रखें? I want all of you to write in your notebook section 50 interest, because even TDS and TCS, if these payments are delayed, interest is going to be charged at the rate of 18% per annum. और late fee भी है 100 per day up to 5,000. TDS 51, 52, TDS is deducted when the contract value exceeds 2,50,000. Here there are no limit. Rate is 2%, here 1%, the CGST ka adha. TDS is applicable when the supplier supplies goods or services to central government, state government, local authority, society which is registered by central government and all, or body corporate where more than 51% shares are with central government. Then while making payment to supplier, they will deduct the tax and pay, and this tax deducted has to be paid by 10th of the next month to government. Okay, right. Same with the TCS. E-commerce operator, while making payment to the supplier, will collect the tax only on the value of the sales, not on the GST part. Huh? E-commerce operator has sold to customer 1,012% GST के साथ, only on 1,000 TCS is applicable. But ये जो TCS है ना, it will deduct its commission, its expenses and TCS and hand over the remaining to supplier. And for TCS, he will give certificate. And यहाँ पे आपका जो return है, GSTR 7. Here your GSTR 9. A or B? क्यों मैं confused हो गई? GSTR 9 is your annual return. Yeah. 9A is annual return of composition. 9B. Annual return. Annual return. Okay. GSTR 7, GSTR 9A, 9B. And certificate also they have to give. Okay. I've tried my best to simplify. Just check my material. Literally, I'm telling you, for accounts and records also, got so many messages that in 2 pages, it's a compact material, not missing out anything. मैम जब मटेरियल इतना अच्छा दिया है तो ये क्यों लिखा रहे? एक बार तो लिखना पड़ेगा बेटा. Just to sink in your mind, you should know and you should write once. Mandatory. Okay? Anyone is having any doubt? Otherwise, अच्छे से पढ़ो, बाकी पढ़ाई करो. We are going to meet at 6:30 in evening today to discuss all the GST amendments for upcoming CA, CMA, CS, all the exams. Material also you will get individually. We have done in every chapter. Let me, when we condense and put it at one place, we will give the weightage of around 8 marks to GST amendments from all the chapters. ये देखो मटेरियल में आपके ऐसे ही क्वेश्चंस है. क्विज भी बहुत सिंपल है. Just solve it. Any doubts you have, you can ask me. I'm again emphasizing, so many of you are still live with me. Thanks a ton that you trust my way of teaching. That motivates me also. Years I've been teaching. जब PCC था, IPCC था, I know that when a portion is added for the first time, how they ask this. They will ask this. Because this is an amendment in 9.5 also, and this is an amendment in the TCS also. So aggregate value of the supplies minus return, that's what all the registered persons, they'll have to collect the TCS. But currently services which are notified by 9.5 are given below. Read, so uske upar TCS nahi lagta. Service by way of transportation of passengers by radio cabs which operate on the GPRS, right? Services by accommodation in hotels is meant for residential except as supplying such service through is liable for registration. Okay. Services by way of housekeeping, plumbing, carpentering and all, we urban clap and all. Services of restaurants are outside TCS if yours is only a restaurant chota mota, which is covered under 5% tax. If the restaurant is attached to a hotel where the room fare exceeds 7,500, then it will not be covered in 9.5 and TCS will be applicable. Clear to all of you, right? So that's all for this class of TDS and TCS and GST. Of course, I'll make a very compact video of 30 minutes for 115 BAC versus normal. Your TDS and TCS, only the important ones. Please watch the DT Sarthi video for TDS, TCS, because their practice video में क्या हुआ है? One concept 194 O and problem. One concept 194 P and problem. So that will be very helpful to you. Not more than 2 hours is each lecture. And I'll be doing a lot of revision with all of you in 3 days holidays. Thank you so much. Bye bye. See you all in evening.